Hello, Scorpios. This is Queen Amun Ra coming to you with your general reading. For those of you all who follow the moon phases, the moon has moved into Cancer. Like you, Cancer is a water sign. It's the I feel sign. So you want to make sure you're tapping into that extra creativity. So you're maybe feeling extra creative right now, but you're definitely feeling something, right? So you want to try to flush out any toxic feelings about being judged and however you create, whether it's creating a business for yourself or who you may have procreated children with, or what you created space for. If you feel ashamed or embarrassed that you may have created something in the past that you're not too pleased with. So as you're saying, this is a great time to go through a deep transformative period. All right, let's get into it. Let's go. First card out the deck, King of Cups. Yeah, something has brought you to a level of emotional maturity now, where you're just really, you're moving forward in childlike faith. Something has brought you. So obviously you've been in. Somebody may have talked horribly about you, or may have talked horribly about somebody. Shark energy may have talked horribly about somebody. Or you may have experienced the same thing somebody else experienced, where people manipulated your emotions, had you laughing one minute, crying the next minute, right? So something has brought you to a level of emotional maturity, in just how you see other people. Like when you look in the mirror, the same creator that created you created them. So when you hear people say dark comments to people, that's just kind of how they're wired. Somebody must have said something dark to them. That's how they're wired. So you have an innate spiritual understanding now. Somebody has an innate spiritual understanding of just the material world. Somebody doesn't see themselves as handsome. Somebody doesn't see themselves as pretty. Somebody doesn't see themselves. We're talking about masculine energy here. So somebody just doesn't see themselves as worthy. They just see themselves, and when they look in the mirror, what they see back at them is all the negative things they've ever heard said about them, and so they project that onto other people, and they stay in survival mode because of it. Right. So here's the King of Wands here. So you're starting to see things from a higher frequency now. Starting to see things from a higher frequency now. And you're being the guardian angel, know how to pray for people who are in that position, who are being stubborn. It's hard for them to move past that. So you are going to be the guardian angel by taking the high road, like seeing things at a higher frequency. Something about somebody's energy, they see it as something as bad, they see it as something as really dark. They're not supposed to have certain feelings about things. So it's hard for them to see that as good when other people are okay with their feelings about things. So an example of that would be the hard wiring. It would be an example of being like a person who doesn't see a whole lot of money in artistry, for instance, right? Because that would be water to creativity, right? So somebody talks negatively about it because for them, you don't make any money in art. For them, as far as they're concerned, you don't make any money in that. That's not honorable. Like, why would you want to do something like that? Doesn't make any sense. So they go right into pointing out every single person they believe did not do well in art. And if it's somebody that you're emotionally connected to or tied to, they're going to use that person. So source is saying to you, they're going to use that person to talk about. If it's an ex and there's kids involved, their mom or dad didn't do well when they try to pursue painting or something like that, or some kind of art or creativity. If it's you, it's you. Why would you want to be in that art world? There's no money in that, because for some energies, it's all about the material. It's all about the material. If you want to be a comic, there's no way in the world you're going to make money as a comedian. There could be 10,000 comedians that's doing well, but they will find somebody that isn't doing well, and they will talk about that until there's no end. They will judge that to no end. So source is saying, something having to do with music. I'm not surprised this card came out. Something having to do with music. So source is saying something has brought you to a level of emotional maturity when you're dealing with energies who talk so dark about energies who may have pursued music to help you cut ties with, to help you to move on in childlike faith, because Six of Cups connects us with Scorpio. So, and that's the Death card. Something has brought you to a level of emotional maturity that when somebody talks negatively about something that you're passionate about, you just cut ties. You cut ties, especially if it's unhealthy and it's wounded. When the moon moves into Scorpio, that's where you're talking about relationships and you're talking about money. So if somebody says, "Oh, music will never make any money for you," that don't make sense to even, or you'll never be able to create a life for your family, or you can never create a legacy for your family with music. That don't even make any sense, right? So if somebody were to say that if something has, and they use you as an example, Scorpio, they talking dark about you, but they're talking to other people about you. Oh, they see they failed, they never made it, or that kind of stuff. Something has brought you to a level of emotional maturity because you're dealing with a vain, vengeful, green with envy, very jealous spirit because nobody ever supported them. So you're not repaying dark comment with dark comment. You're just ending the time that you're spending around them. That's the time is money. That's the Nine of Pentacles. You're cutting no more conversation about it. No more conversation about it. They feel that dark about the earth is because somebody didn't support them. Yep, you're not on that team. That's not the team you're on. Anybody who talks negatively about people who are trying to create a life for themselves, you're not on that team. All they do is talk trash. What do they call the I forgot what they call. They call them something. They talk about, oh, they don't make any money. What is it called? I can't think right now. But anyway, Five of Pentacles. You're not a part of that team of people who talk trash about people when it comes to music and pursuing their goals and their creativity, whether it's artistry through comedy, music, whatever. That's what you have in common with somebody. And you've heard people talk negatively about people who they think is just a one-hit wonder, or they just talk negatively about something in entertainment altogether. You're not a part of that team, and that's when you say, okay, you're not joining that conversation. You're not joining the conversation. So, yeah, somebody's dealing with two energies who are vain, vengeful, green with envy, and you're being something about your energy is seeing things from a higher frequency. Like you are the guardian angel that's kind of like just there, right? So here's the Page of Swords. So your anxiety will be going away about something very, very soon. Somebody younger was possibly an open book about things, and all they heard was this very dark stuff about it. But you have a wealth of knowledge about people who are wolves in sheep's clothing. You can't talk about your dreams in front of them without them shooting the dreams down. He trying to humiliate people. Got them laughing 1 minute, crying the next, humiliating them everywhere they can go. So they said nope. So Seven of Cups here. So somebody now, the scales have been removed from your eyes. You now see things through a different lens now. You're starting to see things through a totally different lens, Scorpio. And how people can feel like they're in a, David and Goliath situation. You're not judging people anymore. Now somebody is starting to see that there could have been a person who had to walk away from a situation just in faith. Like I said, they may have had to be dealing with. They have wealth of knowledge about something. They just got tired of being talked to like dirt, basically. So now somebody seeing who was used as a pawn in a game. Like, you starting to see a lot of things differently now. So here we have the King of Pentacles, Seven of Cups. Here, yeah. You have a wealth of knowledge now. So something is very clear, black or white, of how people talk to people, how people they like to see people laughing one minute and see people crying the next. They like all of that. They just like, because for them, they're masking something else within themselves. You'll see what it is. They want an image of a perfect. It's an image, though. So what else are they hiding? So, speaking of a lot of water, talking about creativity, right? So what else? What are they creating? What else are they creating? What kind of? And why are they using people as pawns? Why are they so black and white? There's no gray area. Where is it? Everything's so black and white for them. When art is, art is subjective. Creativity is subjective, right? Why for them in particular everything is so black and white? There's no color, no vibrancy in what they do because somebody did not support their creativity. It's generational. Somebody said it's their way or the highway. Somebody said it was their way or the highway. So now things are starting to make sense. Something was generational. I see that Four of Pentacles right there. Yep, something was generational. There's a Capricorn involved in something because this card didn't flip over for nothing. The Taurus involved in something. There's a Capricorn involved in something. An Aries involved in something. Or somebody who jumps to conclusions. They could have Aries somewhere in their birth chart. Virgo could be involved in something, right? Or you analyzing something, right? You analyzing how people can buy into a particular fairy tale that somebody else created that could end up being a nightmare for somebody else. The Queen of Pentacles here. Yep. So, all for the purpose of image. So I see you working very, very hard. I see you getting back to work, working very hard. So if this is you, where you're dealing with, for instance, you and an ex or somebody, and the ex is trying to create this picture perfect image of something, and you once bought into this fairy tale of something, Scorpio, and now that ended up being a nightmare for you. So it's just saying something is pushing you into prayer warrior mode, and you're working really hard at it. You're working really hard. You're getting back to work, but you're also in prayer warrior mode because you know somebody's being used as a pawn. And you working hard is going to put an end to something. You being a prayer warrior is going to put an end to something. Something is going to come to an end. The tower is going to fall that way on them, whoever these energies are. Because some energies are trying to use somebody as a pawn, but they're to create this image that's not really true. They're not trying to create this, oh, we got this picture perfect so-and-so. So it's just like, no. So yeah, and somebody is obsessed. There's a guy who is obsessed with creating this picture perfect, whatever. But that person is hiding something, using people as pawns. So some seeds were planted. Here's the seven of. It's harvest time for you. So source is saying you're going to get out of something what you put into it. Here's a 9 of Wands here. See how this person is looking back? There's not a whole lot of growth when there's a lot of friction and chaos and confusion. Not a lot of growth. And so whoever's trying to create this picture perfect image of something, it's already ended. Because somebody's at this right here, 10 of Swords. They're talked about behind their backs, laughed at, talked down to, all kinds of stuff, used as a pawn. And so you're praying for their strength. Whoever they are, you're praying for their strength. So, let's see. Yeah. Because they definitely don't know their worth. They have a pick-me spirit. They really want to be a part of something. And that's not something that's joking, to laugh about, or anything. They really want to be a part of something. And those energies, who have a pick-me spirit, are easily manipulated by people. Easily manipulated by people. And so that's not what you're trying to do. You're praying for their strength. That they know their worth, they know their value. And so if you talk to them, if you have an opportunity to talk to certain people, just let them know how valuable they are to you. You'd be surprised at them saying, I really needed to hear that right now. There's so many people you hear calling people demons, sources saying, but you don't hear enough people saying, "Oh, that's what I needed to hear." That was an angel. I needed to hear that. That's what source is trying to tell you. Is like, learn how to be the angel and stop being in that whole conversation of who's a demon and how to identify a demon. How about identifying an angel? That conversation. Sacral chakra cleanse. So, he apologizes for betraying you, but pray for them. Your ex wants to return, child. A whole lot of exes want to return. Your ex was on some kind of an assignment. The new one is extra special. You versus you. Yep. Follow your heart. Somebody secretly has a crush on you. Trust your first mind. Third eye chakra cleanse. But dance around your home as if no one is watching. But you have the gift of clairvoyance. You see things clearly now. And so things are getting ready to start flowing to you like water. But your laughter is medicine. Your gifts have increased. Yeah, something brought you to a new level of emotional maturity. Especially dealing with somebody who is just, like I said, shark. They're doing everything for image. Everything for them is about image. So, but you're about to have a tower moment. One yes from God. So you've been booked and busy, not burdened at all. You're not carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders. But at what age did your parents work on their shadow self, and at what age did you work on yours? That's what you have in common with somebody. You've invested so much time and energy into something. As far as music is concerned, people talked a lot of trash about you. You already know what it's like to be around wolves, which are predators. You've learned how to be more conservative with your time. You're going back in your memory of just how you bought into some kind of a fairy tale, and you've awakened from a nightmare. You're working hard now to not be accepted and approved in certain spaces. So we got 6 and 5 is 11. You're getting off the fence of giving any more time to something, and you're saying you're stepping into your own light. So there it is. Inner child, allow me to give compassion and love to that little one. Let me attend to its deepest needs and feelings. Yeah, so focus on your inner child while you're praying for other people and then their inner child. Because some people are basically like, it's their way or the highway, and if it's not their way, they want to see people out, literally out in the cold. Literally. So love. Affirmations for love. I am loving, harmonious, happy, and free. I am grateful for some form of kindness that shows up in my life every day. I am nurturing relationships without conditions. Imagine being with somebody who's so image driven that they would rather see you out in the cold, you and your kids out in the cold, if they cannot live a particular fairy tale image that people see them as. Imagine that. They would rather see you out in the cold. I don't know what the temperature is where you live watching the videos, but imagine if it was winter time and somebody would rather see you out, you and your kids freezing out in the cold because you're not trying to live up to their image. That's what this is. That's why the tower is coming down. Because nobody supported their creativity, so therefore they're not gonna support yours. You're trying to create a business for you, so they ain't supporting. They said, we're not supporting that. I'd rather see you out in the cold. Nobody supported mine. Just petty, very immature. And you are good enough. You are good enough. So it says, stop going along with the flow, be in receiving mode of that message. You are good enough, but imagine being around somebody who's basically, I will see you out in the cold before I see you pursue your creativity. Did everything to assassinate people's characters, use everybody as a pawn, because again, just obsessed. That's what this death party, they just obsessed. Obsessed with manipulating people. So, source is saying, keep your vibrations high. Something has brought you to a new level of emotional maturity as it relates to you and as it relates to other people. Music is at the helm of something, or creativity, the arts. Number 0. There is no beginning and no end. All is infinite. It's time to develop your spiritual side. You are gaining new sight and understanding of both godly and earthly things. Number 0. That is what I have for you. Thank you for joining me. I will see you all in the next video. See you all in the next video. Bye.